Nicolas Kokkalis, while the PhD student at Stanford from 2000 to 2008, was captivated by the wave of peer-to-peer P2P networks that were changing how people connected and shared data. He observed that Napster and BitTorrent unlocked the potential of decentralization, but both had limitations. Napster depended on a central server and collapsed due to legal issues, while BitTorrent lacked a reliable consensus mechanism to control data quality. With a strong belief that technology should belong to everyone, not just the tech elite, Kokkalis dreamed of a distributed framework where any student or faculty member at Stanford with just a personal computer could participate. He wanted to create a lightweight system where research materials, lectures, or academic data could be shared freely without the university's central servers, while also reflecting the community spirit within the academic environment. This idea was not just an exercise but a seed for larger applications, like decentralized cryptocurrencies. Although at the time, he couldn't fully envision the potential of the distributed system he was pioneering. Kokkalis began by sitting down with his supervising professor and colleagues in the Stanford lab, discussing how to improve P2P networks. He realized that an ideal distributed system needed three things: 1. No reliance on a central server. 2. Easy to use on common devices. 3. A simple consensus method to validate data. From there, he came up with the idea of circles of trust, small groups of nodes, computers that choose each other based on trust, rather than computational competition like other models. He envisioned that in the Stanford environment, where students and faculty were already accustomed to collaboration, trust could be the foundation for building an efficient network. This was an inspiring first step, laying the groundwork for a system that reflected the academic community spirit. After conceiving the idea, Kokkalis spent time sketching the framework structure on paper, drawing circles of trust with 3 to 5 nodes, and planning how they would connect. He decided that each node would choose other nodes it trusted. For example, a student might choose a professor or classmates they had worked with to form an interconnected network. He envisioned a majority-based consensus process, where at least 75% of the nodes in a circle had to agree to confirm data. The profound meaning here was that he wanted the framework to be not only distributed but also to reflect real human relationships, turning technology into a tool for connection rather than competition. He carefully documented these steps, preparing to turn the idea into reality in the lab. Next, Kokkalis started building the data validation process. He imagined that when a node like a student submitted a research paper, the nodes in its circle of trust, such as a professor and a few research students, would check the content, ensuring there were no errors or plagiarism. He designed a rule: if at least 75% agreed, the data was accepted. He simulated this by imagining classroom discussions. If the majority of colleagues agreed that the paper was valuable, it would be recognized. This step demonstrated his creativity, turning an abstract concept into a practical process, but also posed challenges regarding how to ensure objectivity when trust depended on people. After the data was validated, Kokkalis planned how it would propagate through the network. He envisioned that each node in a circle of trust would send the data to its own circle, creating a ripple effect like water waves. For example, if a professor validated a paper, they would share it with other colleagues, and the process would continue until the entire Stanford network knew about it. He focused on keeping the speed fast and efficient, avoiding heavy loads on personal computers. This was a crucial step, reflecting his desire for a system that was not only distributed but also useful for the academic community, where knowledge could spread freely. Kokkalis brought this framework into the Stanford lab, using about 50 computers belonging to students and faculty for testing. He had a student send a hypothetical paper file to a professor in their circle of trust, observing how the data propagated and was validated. He discovered that if a computer node failed, for instance, due to an internet disconnection, the circle would be disrupted. To fix this, he designed an automated process to replace the faulty node with a new one, like choosing another student from the class. He monitored the propagation time, usually under 1 second on the local network, and noted the efficiency, but also recognized potential limitations as the scale increased. This step was the culmination of perseverance, where he not only built but also refined the framework to fit reality. After numerous tests, Kokkalis sat down to analyze the results. He found the framework worked well on Stanford's small scale, with fast propagation speeds and easy participation for everyone. However, he identified some limitations of the system. 1. Lack of strong security to prevent fraud. 2. Reliance on subjective trust could lead to bias. 3. Difficulty scaling if many more nodes were added. For example, If a student submitted a fake paper and their circle of trust didn't detect it, the incorrect data would spread. These lessons didn't discourage him. On the contrary, they became a driving force for him to continue improving his approach to large-scale global distributed systems, laying the foundation for later projects like Pi Network. Let's join Pi from us to delve deeper into Dr. Nicolas's story, and you'll see the greatness of this Pi Network project. You see, even before Pi, our Nicolas was already a prodigy at Stanford, DHE in electrical engineering, then a postdoctoral researcher in computer science. Just hearing that sounds more credible than many of those signal-calling experts online, doesn't it? PhD dissertation was on crowdsourced management of personal information with accountability and privacy. Sound familiar? It's like everyone helps protect each other's data. This was the very seed for Pi's security circle that we saw developing in the first part of the video, an idea that many other blockchain projects are probably kicking themselves for not thinking of sooner. And even more impressively, Kokkalis developed an initial framework for writing smart contracts back when Bitcoin was still struggling to explain what is blockchain, truly ahead of his time. While other projects later boomed with ICOs, ETOs, and then started building, Kokkalis had been nurturing the technology for a long time. He was also the CTO of Gamiola, creating social applications with over 20 million users. This experience is very important as it explains why Pi Network is so mobile-first and community-focused. Unlike those projects that promise the moon, and then users don't know what to do with them. Then in 2018, Kokkalis even taught Stanford's first course on dApps, decentralized applications. This is when the ideas for a Pi network that's easy as Pi began to form. A stark contrast to mining Bitcoin, which requires a mini power plant, or participating in DeFi, which involves countless complex steps. After years of honing his skills at Stanford, Kokkalis and his colleagues identified a pressing problem. Bitcoin was cool, Ethereum was awesome, but they were too hard to use. They required powerful machines, consumed mountains of electricity, and had various security risks. In short, they were hostile to ordinary users. Then boom! On March 14, 2019 Pi Day, Pi Network was born with a mission that couldn't be more humane: democratize cryptocurrency. Meaning anyone can participate as long as they have a smartphone. Mining Pi is as gentle as scrolling TikTok, doesn't drain your battery, and requires no investment. Sound like a multi-level marketing scheme, folks? Haha, just kidding. But this idea created a real frenzy. The core principles of Pi are also quite something. 1. Accessible. Everyone has a phone, right? 2. Energy efficient, uses CCP Stellar Consensus Protocol, not the power-guzzling proof of work like Bitcoin. Our eco-friendly friends will surely love this. 3. Community trust, the legendary security circle, where friends trust each other. Sounds more loving and caring than the rampant rug pulls in the market, doesn't it? 4. User-centric, the goal is to improve the blockchain experience, not to scare users away. Pi's strategy is also unique: build the community first, mainnet later, exchange listings, take it slow. While other projects believe listing is king, selling tokens for money, and then developing or not, Pi chose the opposite path. First, have a large, engaged community, then features and utilities will follow. If this gamble pays off, it will truly go down in history. Speaking of technology, Pi Network isn't just about a check-in app. They use the Stellar Consensus Protocol (CCP), or Federated Byzantine Agreement (FBA). Sounds complicated, but simply put, it allows transaction validation through circles of trust instead of grinding with computing power. Pi's journey is also divided into several phases: Beta 2019, mainly inviting each other to mine for fun; Testnet 2020, testing various things in a greenhouse; Enclosed Mainnet December 2021. This is the dramatic phase. The main blockchain is running, but there's a firewall blocking external connections. What's the purpose? KYC, know your customer, filter out fake accounts, prevent fraud. Mr. Kokkalis even emphasized using both AI and real people for KYC. Not like some projects that do KYC for show, allowing easy account cloning. Ecosystem building. Develop dApps, Pi Marketplace within the home pond. Most importantly, weathering the storm. While the outside world was weeping over Luna's collapse and FTX vanishing into thin air, Pi sheltered itself in the enclosed mainnet, and the KYC price 1 Pi remained stable. Truly a masterful move, avoiding the crypto tsunami. Of course, every journey has its potholes. Pi has also been criticized for Open Mainnet delays, making many pioneers impatient. Then there was internal drama with co-founder Vincent McPhillips' messy lawsuit. But eventually, everything was resolved. This shows the Pi team is no pushover, overcoming storms to continue developing. Mr. Kokkalis remains steadfast. We focus on real-world utility, not the noisy madness of the market. He also said that bear markets are the time for real builders. Sound like true holders? For those who just want to get rich quick, Pi might not be the place for you. And then, what must come, will come. Open Mainnet. This is when the firewall is lifted. Pi coin can freely roam the outside world, get listed on exchanges like OX, BitGet, and most importantly, be used for buying, selling, and trading. Kokkalis emphasizes that Pi is not about quick profits, but about real-world use cases, payments, DeFi, online marketplaces, digital identity, and more. Currently, many places like Pi Chain Mall and Map of Pi already allow goods to be exchanged for Pi. The goal is for Pi to be used in everyday transactions. Sounds more ambitious than projects that only focus on pumping and dumping tokens, right? Pi's strength is its massive community, over 70 million users. If this number hits the market, other projects will only cry their eyes out. These are not just people mining for fun, they are pioneers, contributors, ambassadors. This community is the ace up Pi's sleeve for widespread adoption. The slow and steady strategy, building utility before fully opening the mainnet, is a big gamble. If successful, Pi could become one of the largest real-world experiments in using cryptocurrency as a medium of exchange, not just a speculative asset like Bitcoin or Ethereum. By then, the question, does Pi have value, will answer itself. Now, let's fast forward to the future a bit. Consensus, one of the biggest crypto events on the planet. And guess who's on the speaker list for Consensus 2025? None other than our Mr. Nicolas Kokkalis. Imagine how intense the atmosphere will be. The entire crypto world will have its eyes peeled, waiting to see what earth-shattering announcement Kokkalis will make. Could this be the moment Pi officially unleashes its full potential on the international stage? Kokkalis' speech will likely be a summary of a journey fraught with hardship, but also immense pride, from an idea at Stanford to building a community of millions, overcoming countless storms, and enduring endless taunts that Pi is worthless. And then, he will proudly declare, Pi Network Open Mainnet is fully operational. Our dApp ecosystem is ready to serve you. He might even show off some major partners who have integrated Pi. The message will be, we didn't just launch a coin, we built an entire economy, and now we're opening it to the world. This will be a sweet rebuttal to all the doubters. Pi Network will prove that a cryptocurrency project can still be as easy to use as a Web2 application, but possess the decentralized power of Web3. That will be the moment when the saying cryptocurrency for everyone becomes more real than ever. The journey of Nicolas Kokkalis and Pi Network is truly a dramatic saga, isn't it? From a bookish researcher at Stanford, he dared to dream big, to bring cryptocurrency to every corner of life, in the easiest and most economical way. Despite all the challenges, all the gossip, much like how people once scorned Bitcoin when it first came out, or criticized Ethereum as a slow world computer, Kokkalis and his team remained steadfast. The strategy of nurturing an army for 3 years to use it for an hour with the enclosed mainnet, amidst a market shaken by collapses like Luna or FTX, shows remarkable foresight and prudence. As Pi Network approaches the beckoning Consensus 2025 event, this story is truly inspiring. It shows that sometimes, ideas deemed crazy can change the world. The future of Pi Network is still ahead. Will it truly create a revolution, or just be another bubble among countless crypto bubbles? Only time will tell. What about you? What do you think about Pi Network and Mr. Nicolas Kokkalis? Are you mining Pi every day? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Pi From Us channel so you don't miss other exciting stories in this volatile crypto world. Goodbye and see you again.